Welcome back to Just One Question. And I am really excited today to have Graham Lutz with us on the program. Graham is an author, professional speaker, and coach who helps people build the mental architecture, people, you need this, to maximize creativity, innovation, and performance in the face of constant change. And we're talking about AI, misinformation, layoffs. I mean, you know it and I know it. The world has gone bonkers. And so we need Graham to help us sort it out. But first, Graham, how you doing?
Great. So happy to be here, Nick. I always love the opportunity to get to a chance to chat with you. I assume this will be as fun as always.
We're hoping. If not, we'll just call it a mistake and move on. And the reason I mentioned mistakes is because most recently, Graham gave a TEDx talk and went through that whole process of preparing to do the TEDx talk and then giving it and then living with the aftermath. And the talk was on making mistakes. And so, Graham, fill us in. Give us the behind the scenes look. What was that like?
Yeah. So, mistakes was a big theme. This idea of the willingness to be wrong was a big theme that has just kind of weaved its way throughout my life. So as I'm preparing for this talk, right, I'm memorizing my speech. I'm saying it to myself as I go for walks. I'm sure my dogs are tired of hearing it. I've done it over and over. But so the weekend before the event, it was, I believe, Friday evening. I was doing kind of my end of the week wind down before getting in bed and was getting kind of deep into a meditation. And the anxiety started showing up. Like, just, think of anything that could go wrong. I mean, I had it pop into my head that my shoes caught on fire while I was on the stage. Who knows why that's what showed up, but, brains do silly things. And then it just went through a number of things like that, anxiety building. And luckily, I have practiced this willingness to be wrong in my life for a long time. And so that practice showed up, and I asked myself, am I willing to be wrong about all of these feelings and the anxiety and the fear? And what happened is that the meditation, it was pretty deep, but it changed, and it moved from this anxiety into kind of an openness of what else might these feelings be? What else might the high blood pressure and the heart racing and the sweaty palms mean for us, right? My brain is trying to make sense of these things. I came to this thing that I have been interested in my whole life, which is just experiences, right? That's what's most important to me. I want to experience kind of the full breadth of what's available to humans. Which means those experiences don't all have to be, sublime and perfect and good, right? There's plenty of other experiences that are worth experiencing. And what is more unique of an experience than absolutely blowing it at your TED Talk? Right? This is not a whole lot of people have had the experience of absolutely screwing up a TED Talk and bombing completely. And the anxiety just melted. It was a really wild experience to sit there. And I was able to take that with me the next 4 or 5 days leading up to the event. And that even the day of the event, when there's nervous energy everywhere, it's 15 speakers back, everybody's in kind of various levels of disarray, and leading up to this, and I was able to kind of come back to this new frame that I gave myself, that I was willing to be wrong about what the what the fear was and what the anxiety was, and that I was willing to look at this differently. So that was the big thing for me that I'm going to remember, I think, throughout. Obviously made a bunch of really good friends, good connections with other speakers. Doing a TEDx talk is a cool experience for anybody, no matter what. Luckily, I don't think that I bombed. I've gotten some good feedback so far.
Excellent.
But that's kind of an application of what I talk about in the speech, right? That willingness to be wrong is just a really valuable tool to have. Experience that leading up to it.
I love that, because you're absolutely right. If you had completely bombed the speech, you might have felt bad in the moment or experienced whatever feelings you had about that. But what a great story that would have made down the road.
Exactly, right?
It could have been the funniest TEDx talk ever,
right.
So there's all kinds of ways that you could have made gold out of that, and so that's a genuinely smart reframing of it, and I'm really impressed that took care of the anxiety in the moment leading up to it. So well done.
Thank you. And I will say that that's the result of many years of practicing this willingness to be wrong, right? In big things and little things. The practice has paid off, and that made that experience much more enjoyable, much more comfortable. I think I probably did a lot better once I got on stage, because I was able to, harness some of the nerves and direct them in the way that I wanted them directed, rather than trying to fight against them a little bit.
Yeah. And I've seen the tape, and you looked extraordinarily relaxed. Everybody, you should check this TEDx talk out. Now you know the backstory, because he does look, you look really relaxed on the stage, and it has a wonderful kind of, we're just talking amongst friends sort of feel to it. So congratulations. Well done. All that meditation paid off. Hooray. That's awesome. All right. Graham Lutz, everybody, check out the TED Talk, and it's probably just if you just Google Graham Lutz TEDx Talk, then it'll come up. I'm sure it's not that hard to find. We'll put it in the show notes beneath this. But Graham Lutz, thanks for being on Just One Question.
Yeah, thanks for having me.